Okay, so let me grab this real fast. Usually it's me upstairs, so this will be really fun to see how this works down here. Okay, so first things first is say hi to 2 people you don't know. And if you're online, send a direct message to someone online that you don't know. So we'll take the next minute.
The game begins in 3,
So I haven't been coming down.
How you been? Time is Okay, so every single week we talk about our MVVP, which is our values, and that's actually what we're going to talk about today is our V. So what, if someone wants to read it for me on the screen? Anyone volunteer? Okay, thanks, Amy.
God, family, then business.
Awesome. And what, somebody else, what does that mean to you? Anyone?
The priorities first.
Okay, I love that, exactly. So yes, so obviously our values, this is like the root of our business, of KW, is God, family, and then business. Those are your priorities in life. Of course, you can rearrange those as you'd like, but that is what KW does value the most. Okay, Onward Agent Services. I do not see them downstairs this morning, right? Okay, cool. Well, they do a bunch of different awesome things: transaction coordinating, marketing management, sign running, and closing gift baskets. If you have not reached out to Katya yet for some specials for the summer for marketing, please do. She is a rock star at newsletters, at social media content. Like, she will do it all for you per what you're asking for. So if you're like, hey, I want to feature this, and this month or next month or something, she makes sure that she gets that in there. Or if you have a certain template you want to use or color scheme, she does a great job at making sure that it aligns with your business as well. Our vendor guide. So we keep growing. We actually added another vendor this week. And actually, I'll start with you, Kevin, if you don't mind. If our vendors want to stand up and introduce themselves after that, go ahead.
Hi there, I'm Kevin Kohler with Allstate. Recent transplant in the last 6 months. I was in the St. Louis area for the last 35 years. I was a loan officer for about 15 years, specializing with the 203K renovation loans. I was an agent with KW for a couple of years up in the St. Louis area, and then transferred down here, and also a teacher. So I have a long history of teaching background. Education is very important to me. So I'm looking forward to getting a chance to know more about Springfield and getting a chance to meet with all of you. Thank you.
Awesome. Welcome. Brian, you guys want to go?
Not really. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
My name is Bryant Young, Insures the Ozarks, your friendly local insurance agent. Just trying to find one that's clean. Hey, what do you call someone who sells themselves in exchange for pasta?
Me.
A prostitute.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
I love that jokes, Derek.
All right, Derek Cheney, I'm an expert with Mid-Missouri Banks. Sorry, Brian's joke got me there. But yeah, conveniently located right across the parking lot here, and here for all of your lending needs.
Oh, it's Cindy.
Fellow prostitute.
Yeah,
I'm gonna remember
sorry.
that one. I'm sorry Christy couldn't be here today. We had to divide and conquer, but she sends her love. Speaking of love, Great American Title has been giving consistently high quality, good service. This has got to be one of the most difficult markets I've witnessed in a while. It's taken you guys, all of you, to get it to the closing table, and we're still not done, are we? So if you need just a trusted a team around you, if you'd like to make a change, or if this is the first time ever using GAP, remember Christy and I are here to hold your hand and get you through it. Thank you.
Love that. Thank you, vendors. I think that was everyone, right? Okay, well, Bryant, you're next.
Why's that?
Wait, well, you were the last one that won last week, right?
Correct.
Okay,
Yes,
well, I apologize for that.
yes,
So last week's winner was Bryant.
yes. So for those unaware, we have the Vendy Award, which is the Vendor of the Week Award, where we were sitting in a row in the back and decided we needed an award, much like the Culture Award.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, I thought I'd bring give this to someone who's always got a smile, who's always very energetic, and is always ready to help, it seems like. So Cindy, would you take this?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love that you guys started that, because it's
Yeah.
something really fun with all of you, and you're your own community too. I mean, we all need each other's help with businesses as well as, I mean, you help all of our agents, but your businesses, you lean on each other too. So I love that. Got to keep the culture everywhere, right? Okay, so we have TCPA compliance in the middle of our awards, but make sure that you're, TCPA compliant and friendly way, please, always. So last week, our mission moment last week was Landon. It was funny because he was on vacation in Vegas, and so he got all the wonderful text messages while he's sitting around a poker table. But he won last week, and he has nominated Jordan Fine as this week's winner. I was not prepared, so give me one quick second. I have Jordan's number. Okay. Okay, so let me read first what he had said about Jordan. Okay, Jordan Fine is a shining example of professionalism and dedication, earning our Culture Award. Despite being a newer agent, Jordan handled a challenging transaction with remarkable poise, delivering a seamless first closing. Her sweet demeanor, eagerness to learn, and commitment to excellence make her a standout in our team. Jordan embodies our core values and represents the future of real estate. Congratulations on this well-deserved recognition. So let me grab her number really fast. Oh, myself that's in the sky. It's actually Katya. So her phone number is 417-379-0074. So go ahead, since she is not here, let's give her a quick text.
What was it again? Say that one more time.
417-379-0074. All right. It's so cool getting those messages, especially when you're not like present at the meeting. It's just like, oh my gosh, like this is so cool. It's like a flood of overwhelming emotion. Jim, broker moment, do you have anything to say?
Well, I wish it was a bigger crowd, first of all, for all of you. But yeah, I think two things. We're heading towards a contract change July 29th. We've got some things coming up. I think I have training on Thursday at 1 o'clock that will not be booted out this time by anybody. So we'll have that if somebody wants to come. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the new stuff. And then the 25th, there's a webinar coming down from the state Legal Eagles. And I would encourage you, I don't know, I guess it'll be Zoom.
We are gonna play it down here.
It'll be Zoom. So if you could attend that either in your car or out here, I'd do it because we're getting closer. And then the July.
There's a few other dates. I do have a slide on it. So
All right.
we'll chat about that.
All of those. I would encourage you right now, if you are an agent, to start sending over the broker, the cooperation fee agreement. And it's going to change a little bit, but if you'll get into the practice of doing it, when you make your offer, then you can eliminate, having to change on the 29th next month. I just think about it. Next time you make an offer to send the cooperating fee agreement, even though it's on the MLS right now. And then it just becomes a standard of practice for you. You just become used to doing it because I think you're going to probably want to do that on most of your transactions if you're a buyer's agent to see if you're going to get paid or not. Okay? Anything else? We've had some, another uptick in fall throughs, which doesn't make me very happy. I hope we will stop that pretty quick again. Okay? All right, that's it for me. All good news.
Cool. Christina, I know you just popped in. Do you want to say something quick about you?
Hi, I'm Christina Ferrante with 417 Home Loans, and I'm your lending lady for life.
There you go. I love it. Okay. Okay, continuing education and real estate license renewal. So if you have a broker's license, it is due by 6:59 on June 30th. That's like a Sunday evening, and it is taking a little bit longer than the 24 hours for your credits to register. Not anything crazy, it's usually up there by 48 hours, but you want to make sure that you are not on that line. And if you have not received your PIN code yet, because remember, this is a two-step process. This pertains to everyone who only has a salesperson license, because this happens in September. But if you have not received your code, please call the MREC and get it from them. Because that is going to be what you can register or you can pay online. So as long as you're paid online before 6:59 on the 30th, you're fine. But you can't do that until your credits register. So make sure that you can get on there. Even if you're like, if you had just finished your CE, go ahead and check it every couple of days and make sure that you can go ahead and register and renew that, okay? We do have the code for 12 hours. Please remember that there is, your core required class this year is a fair housing, but we recommend the code of ethics as well because that is required every 3 years. So get those two done and then do a couple fun electives. There's some interesting ones on there. So get some knowledge, get some good stuff on there. So yeah, go ahead and check that. If you are wondering where you're at with your core, with your classes, or like how many that you have completed, you can go to the Missouri Real Estate Commission, search for your name or your license number, and then it shows it right underneath your name. So if you can't see anything, you know you've done some, call them because you might not have permission to have it online. If you have onboarded with me and you were brand new, you do. So there's a special box that has to be checked on your application. But yes, if you have questions on CE, I have been going through this and making sure that you are all getting it done. Okay, how's the market? So looks like we are down a little bit from last week and also kind of the same. So not anything super crazy. Across the board, pretty much, no, we're around the same, like what, 10? I'm not good at math, so nobody asked me to count. But looks like we're still tracking in a good direction compared to what we were last week, just a little bit lower. Last year, yeah, we're in the same range too. Okay, looking good. Because I think that this year our listings and stuff are way up. They have been way up the last few months. We are definitely in a listing market, so that's really good news. Keep it up. Okay, GSBR active listing. So it looks like we went down or up. We went up 30. So that's good. We keep tracking. Yeah, we keep tracking up. So this is really, really great. So continue getting those listings, you know, listing market. People got to buy a home that's listed, right? So, I mean, they don't have to, but they should. Yeah, you have a question?
No, I was just noticing that we're just almost back up to the 2019 levels of inventory.
Yeah, we are. We're 1868 in 2019. Yeah, that's great. Good thing, good looking out there. Yeah, we do, when we do our numbers and stuff year over year, like month over month, we have been tracking based on 2019 plus last year. So we've been having like our numbers and stuff whenever we meet as a group or as a team. And this year is definitely back on pace with how we were in 2019, which is awesome. Okay, tech time with me. So I am teaching a new class today. It is Take Control of Your Business with KW Command. That is at 1 o'clock. It's pretty much just every aspect that you can utilize for your business. It is more important than ever to be utilizing your database. And if you don't have your database where you think it's at a good level for you to be utilizing it to send communication out to your potential clients, your contacts, please come to this class or please set up time with me. I will help you in every way that I can to section out your contacts, to tag them, to get them on certain smart plans. I do a whole overhaul of everything to make sure that you understand it and that you utilize it, because it is the biggest tool that you have in your tool belt right now. Okay. But I am teaching that class and it's gonna be fun. New stuff that has come out recently. So you can send one-off and bulk emails through command to your contacts. That is something new that came out a few weeks ago. If you have like a tag and you're like, oh, I really want to send communication to my book club, then you can go ahead and choose all of those tags, send them a one-off email. It doesn't have to be through Smart Plans, which is really nice. It shows up in their timeline, and it also shows that they are the only ones who received the message. It'll look like it's a bulk, like there's a ton of contacts and stuff on there, but it only shows to one person. So really, really cool. Also something I can help you with. Every Monday, I do have tech office hours downstairs in the training center. So if you're coming to Monday Morning Madness, which is great lead gen, get your Monday or get your week started off like how you should. Get your lead gen done, come down here for 2 hours. It's so much fun. It's Tabata style. It's 20 minutes on, 10 minutes off. So 10 minutes, you can go like, run around, talk to somebody. It's like your brain break, right? But then I'm also down here in case you have any tech questions, and I can help you with those too. Okay, so Realtor Weekly, you get all of this in your email every Sunday. So I'm just gonna kind of briefly go through this. Upcoming events and meetings, educational opportunities in June and July. Market statistics for May, those have also been released. How to use AI to raise your real estate game. So who in here uses like ChatGPT? I love it. Who uses Quick? KWIQ. Oh, come on. It's through command. It is the same thing generally, but it is pulling information from like the Missouri real estate, or like, I'm sorry, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. It's pulling it from Shift. It's pulling it from our curriculum. Super cool. Highly recommend utilizing that, but ChatGPT, I use that as well. Sometimes you need just a little something different, but AI is definitely going to continue changing our world, our real estate. I mean, everything that we do, right? So they are doing a class at the board in regards to it. It's free, so pretty cool. Keys to effective real estate communication. So that's on Friday, June 21st at the board. I don't know what this one is.
Senior real estate specialist.
Got it, thank you.
You're welcome.
So education training calendar as well. The Realtor Learning Center. There's probably, look, oh, fair housing. Ooh, look at that, oh, code of ethics. Oh. Let's get our CE done, okay? They make it easy. If you prefer to sit in a classroom, JSVOR, they're like $35 and you get breakfast. That's great. Okay, fair housing for LGBTQIA+. Tuesday, June 25th, free to attend. Did I say that right?
You did.
Okay.
It's an alphabet soup, I get it.
Well, yeah. Good. That's what we need. We need it. Okay, save the date YPN golf tournament season, guys. I mean, there's one like every single week. Get involved. Those are so much fun. It's great networking events too. Super fun. October, maybe it won't be scorching hot like it was yesterday. Scorching. Flutter and Fortify. So this is Women's Council of Realtors. They're having the Butterfly House tour. I know Mike's kind of talked about that the past few weeks. He said the Butterfly House is really cool. So go and check it out and support the Women's Council of Realtors.
And can I say something about
Yes, Nancy.
So also, that is actually in partnership with our Columbia chapter or network. And they are actually doing it, bringing it down. The mechanical contractors are going to talk about the new environmentally, the green legislation for gases and methane gases in your HVAC systems and stoves. So it might be, I've been trying to find out exactly some talking points for this, but that's what it is. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Nancy.
Thank you.
Okay, deadline for leadership form submission is Sunday, June 30th. That's also when broker licenses are due. A lot of big stuff in June. Okay, our calendar. So today we have team meeting and we have the wonderful Carrie Tennis, who's going to talk to us about KW commercial and commercial real estate in general. I also teach my class. We are closed tomorrow for Juneteenth. Now, the front desk will be covered. So if you do have clients or you are needing any assistance or, you know, phone forwarding and stuff like that, we will have somebody here that's going to handle that for you. Thursday, the 20th is ALC meeting at 8 a.m. Then we have contracts with Jim at 1, and then come down and get summer opener like Pineapple Whip. Bring your friends, bring your families. It's totally free to all of you. So please come and support. All of our vendors are there as well. Great time to mingle and wonderful Pineapple Whip. So it'll be out on which side of the building? This side, which is, if anyone has a compass.
The north side.
Thank you. The north side of the building. It will be on that end. So we'll be out there. We're gonna have music and stuff. We're gonna have fun little giveaways and stuff for the kids. So come and join, you know, just something fun. Friday, we also have Welps Building at 9 a.m. I know that I've got a couple slides on this stuff, but next Wednesday is 6 Personal Perspectives with Wes Litton. Highly recommend taking this course. It is one of the best courses that you can possibly take in regards to mindset, just building your business and learning fundamentals. I'm gonna be in this class because there's a few of these things, like I've taken this before, and some of them I'm just like, I feel like I need to learn more about it. I just haven't quite grasped it yet. And once you grasp those perspectives, it's going to help launch your business into a different direction. So highly recommend come join me and Wes. Wes is an amazing instructor. He is KWU certified, so he's able to teach that course all around the, like, I think nation. So pretty cool. Any questions on calendar for right now? Just so we're gonna come to everything that's on it. I love that. I heard that really loud and clear. So yeah, summer opener, we do have 2 amazing sponsors, Legal Land Title and Livingston Lawn and Tree, that are our vendor sponsors for this event. So come show your support.
Yeah.
Yes, Jim?
They had Livingston come to my house and cut trees. Did a great job.
That's awesome.
Really did. And cleaned everything up. Really
Yeah.
nice, pleasant, clean, professional, had the right equipment. You know, they weren't crawling all over trees. They had a lift. I mean, just, they did a nice job and the price was fair.
Good. That's
Okay,
awesome.
this might be a dumb question, but does the vendor program like make sure these people are like licensed and insured, or do we
Yes.
need to do? Okay.
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay,
vet
I just
them.
want to make sure.
No, they're very heavily vetted. I have a long list of things that I require. And I also,
Very clear. It's a.
Sorry, guys.
It's like.
Yeah, I just
five
didn't want to
certificates of
duplicate
insurance.
efforts.
Yeah, it's.
no, I have copies of everything. So, and I do, I require like 3 references, 3 recommendation letters, plus all of their insurance, plus all of their licenses for business. So yeah, no, great question. I appreciate that. Next, like I said, 6 Personal Perspectives, June 26th. That is going to be down here, 12 to 5. It's only 4 hours. You can commit that to yourself and to your business. Okay. Love it. So look at that. Okay. So yeah.
What's the cost? Here's our
It's free.
free.
I'm gonna be texting that out, so just be on the lookout for like the link and stuff to register. There is course materials, so if you want course materials, it's $10. But I know. I didn't lie, because it can be free. But if you want the digital copy of the materials, because I know a lot of people use iPads or they just prefer to like take their own notes on other paper, that is an option for you as well. Any other questions before we talk about the day that everything changes? I don't know. Mike, you know how theatrical he is, so this is what he came up with. So July 29th, commissions are removed from Soma and Flex, and then there are contract revisions from MAR that go live on the same day. We have a few different things, so like, well, wait, hold on. That's different. Okay, we will be having some of the, so there is a lot of like online training coming from MAR. We are gonna have that on our calendar, so you can always find it here, but you're gonna be getting a lot of communication on that as well, right? So when you get that communication, you can also watch that from somewhere else. Grab a friend, grab a buddy, I don't know, go talk to a local theater and see if you can get it played up on there and just get a bunch of friends. Or you can come here, it's even better. Mark your calendar for July 12th. So we are gonna have a mastermind panel It's basically like the revolution of real estate. There's gonna be 3 different panels. New ways to communicate with sellers, buyers, and wealth building, and or another segment of some sort. We've got some really impactful people outside of KW that's also joining us and gonna be on panels or facilitating panels. 9 to 12 at the Library Center Auditorium, which is like right around the corner, you know, on Campbell. So come and check it out. It's not just for our agents, it's also vendors as well, because this is a huge thing for all of you. And it can also help you with your clients as well and what you're doing. Do you have any questions? Anyone have any questions on this? It's gonna be really cool. We'll have coffee, we'll have some, you know, breakfast items and things like that, but come continue, you know, working on your business. Yeah, Danielle.
Are the topics, is that for the 12th or the 29th?
It's to prepare for.
It's the mastermind to prepare for. It's on July 12th.
Okay.
Yep, the mastermind panel is on July 12th, 9 to 12.
Okay.
Yes, but it's preparing for that. Yeah, good question. I swear I read this. I swear I read these slides. Okay, cool. Team meetings for second quarter. So June 25th. So that's when they're gonna have their forms update call. We will be playing that down here. I think we moved it. Oh, it's right after team meeting next week. So we are actually changing. So Alan Isit is not gonna be next week. It's gonna be the forms update and stuff. So it's gonna start at 11, or sorry, it's starting at 10. So we'll have a quick 30-minute meeting, then we'll go right into it. We're pretty sure it's only about an hour, just kind of talking about that. So come to team meeting next week, get prepared for July 29th. It's already like 4th of July, right? I mean, it's crazy. There's also one on July 9th and July 30th. So this is what Jim was just talking about. Yeah, webinars and stuff like that. So we're gonna have every single one down here. I'll let y'all get those photos. Yeah, cool. And next, I am gonna bring up my wonderful guest, Carrie Tennis. Do you want to stand or do you want to sit?
Oh, I'll stand.
Stand? Okay, perfect.
Okay. I'm gonna try to give them back a little bit of their day.
Okay.
Hi, so for those of you who don't know me, I am Carrie Tennis, at least this morning I was still. And I serve as the commercial committee chairperson on the ALC. And I've done commercial real estate under the corporate role for about 22, 23 years, and then as a licensed agent, the last 3. And a lot of you may not know, but we have a very strong group of commercial agents at KW. A lot of times that gets a little bit hidden in the fact that there's big commercial agencies out there, and you'll see a sign around town. Ours looks a little different because every agent has their own brand and every agent runs their own business, and it looks different sometimes. But if you need help with commercial, we have those people here. So if you have a client call you, maybe it's out of your scope of expertise, you can refer that client to any one of the amazing people that serve on my committee, or you can call me and I will help point you in the right direction. We have people who specialize in multifamily. We have people who specialize in investments. We have people who specialize in retail, leasing, you name it. We've got people right here in this market center that do all of those things. So kind of going to sound like a mafia boss a little bit, in that keep it in the family. When I see somebody post someone else's name on GSBOR and you're us, you're going to probably get a call from me, because I'm going to be like, dude, you didn't keep it in the family. Did you like that?
Yeah, I do.
Sorry.
I like that.
Dude, where's my son? My little one's been saying, come on, man. Come on, man. Really? You didn't keep it in the family. If you have a client and you want to learn about commercial, many of us will walk you through that process, but we'll also be incredibly honest with you. If you shouldn't be doing it, we're going to say you shouldn't be doing it. And that's not because we want a client grab. That's not because we don't have faith in you. It's that you're not going to be covered under the E&O insurance if you mess up a transaction that you didn't have enough knowledge in. So don't put yourself in a bad position. And I know Jim will appreciate me saying that, don't put yourself in a compromised position where you will get a letter from an attorney. In commercial, it's all business. There's no feelings. They don't care about the paint color. If the numbers don't work, the numbers don't work. And if you mess up, you messed up and they're gonna come after you. And it's just problematic for you if you didn't have the skill set to lead them down that transaction. So you have to ask yourself that. People see the numbers and they look at their paycheck first. Don't do that. Look at your integrity first. Look at your own skill set. And if you don't have it, or you can't scale up fast enough to get it, don't do it. Don't do it. And like I said, I know I've worked with several of you and will continue to do that if you truly want to learn. But I do it a little different. I will most likely take point and you can come along as much as you want to be involved. I'll let you be involved and I will teach you along the way. At the point at which you do not take my advice or you stop learning, then I will tell you and we will not work out anymore. Because it's too important. It's my reputation. It's Jason Massengale's, Rhett Smiley's, Nancy's, Evans. It's all of our reputation when we say yes to helping you that we attach to you. And so if we're a little Wes, all of us, if we say yes to helping you, then you have to understand that we just put our name on
I worked for this for 23 years. Yeah, and of course they bought Solo Cup in 2012.
Sending them the bad text message, but that's us putting our name with you. And so a lot of us are not going to compromise our reputation in the industry. The commercial world is very tight. You're not going to see all the deals on MLS. You're probably not going to see 1/10 of the deals on MLS. You're not going to see 1/10 of the deals on somebody's website. And so if you're not engaged and you're not getting involved in networking in that group, you're going to feel like an outsider. But if you want in, you're going to have to behave to a different standard. It's not the same as residential. And that's one thing that I always tell people, timelines are different. There's no two transactions I've ever done that were the same. So the biggest question I get asked is, well, what is the standard process for commercial? And I do what Jim just did. I look at them and then I try not to laugh and then I laugh and I say, there is nothing standard about any single transaction I've ever done in commercial. And they're usually not easy either. If you get an easy one, it's a unicorn. If you get one that's not complex, it's a unicorn. If you get one where it all goes smooth, it's a unicorn. And residential can be that way too. So I'm not taking that away. We do a lot of heavy lifting on both sides. Another thing that I would tell you too, GSBOR has created a commercial board that's going to be focused on bringing more education to what I would call Resi-Com agents that really do want to focus on both. I'm not sure that's easy to do, but the board at GSBOR has been working on changes to make commercial more friendly in not just the MLS, but just in the board in general. So a couple of the things that we've done over the last few months, I serve on that board, by the way. A couple of the things we've done is lock boxes are not required. So you do not have to have a Supra box on a commercial property. You do on all your other properties. I'm going to rephrase that. It's not that you don't have to have Supra, but on commercial properties, you can put and list that you have a combo box. Or you can put you have no box, or, I mean, really it's endless the limits that you can do on a classified commercial property. Number two, the requirements to post that property in a certain time frame are not going to be required on commercial either. So if it's a commercial property and you've had it for 4 months and then you're like, you know what, I'm going to try it out on the MLS. You can put it on the MLS and today you might get the fine notice because I got one this week. But that's gonna, as soon as it integrates all the way down, it's gonna be lifted. You will not be fined if you don't list it within, the required time frame. Okay. Commercial is just different, as you can tell. I don't have to list any of the properties that I have on MLS at all. That's not the same in residential. So just knowing the sandbox that you're playing in and why sometimes it's important or not important to put something on MLS is important too. Jim and I were just talking about it this morning. He goes, why wouldn't you just put everything up there? Or why would there be a delay? Well, if I have a listing agreement for an entire shopping center, one space becomes available today and leases up, but I still have that listing agreement. And 4 months from now, another space becomes available. Do you see how the dates are problematic for commercial? And so we fought hard and we had to do some convincing to get that lifted because MLS they like those rules and they like those fines. Am I being recorded?
Yes.
Somebody's gonna come
Yeah.
after me. They do to try to keep us under a certain decorum and a certain standard, and it doesn't always fit for commercial. One of the main reasons I'm pushing so hard for the commercial board and is for you, not for me. I'll go get the information through a million sources, but right now, if any one of you wanted to do a commercial transaction and you tried to comp that out, how would you do it? How would you do it? The data is not on the MLS. So when you comp out a residential property, you have so much data at your fingertips. And in the commercial world, it's not as easily accessible. So, yes, ma'am.
So do you use LoopNet or do you
I
use
use
the
all
assessor's
kinds of things.
office, or
That's-
what do you use?
That's the thing in commercial is it's a lot more research and a lot more knowing the right places to look or the right people to call. Because even LoopNet and Crexi, the price is probably not going to be disclosed at what it sold for. 90% of the time. Well, no, probably 99% of the time it's not going to be on there. I know what it was listed for, but I don't know what it was sold for. So it's just doing a lot more research. The assessor's office doesn't tell me what it was sold for either. Because nobody's going to tell the assessors so they can jack up their taxes. And if you are telling the assessors, shame on you. Shame,
You're doing it.
shame on you. Please don't do that. But, so yes, and if you want to come see me, Elise, I will definitely show you some of what I do and where I go, because it is different. And with bringing a commercial board to GSBOR, it's in hopes that, okay, so for me as an agent, I'm having to pay for a lot of platforms just to access commercial properties or to be able to have an audience for them, when MLS is probably the biggest platform that there is in the world. KW is right under that. So when I put a property on RealNext and it goes out to KW Commercial, it goes all over the world as well. So there are tools that reside within us being a part of KW and having access to them that really will help you if you want to get the word out a little bit stronger. The commercial agents around town, most of them are not using the MLS.
What, is it just because of those limitations and?
I don't think you need to.
Well, yes and no. So the reason that LoopNet exists and Crexi exists and all of those things exist is for them to have some sort of platform like the MLS. I think it just became a beef between they want to do business their way and they don't want to follow all of the rules that maybe everyone else, and they wanted to be in an elite class. So the thing that probably annoys most commercial agents the most is when a residential agent tries to be a commercial agent without the knowledge. And so a lot of times putting all the carrots out there for the world and then the world just coming at you isn't what a commercial agent wants to do. They're not going to take your phone call. If they know that you're not in commercial, you're probably going to go to some voicemail and never be called again. So just keep it in mind. It's not, I always hear, commercial agents never call you back. They don't answer their phone. That's true. I try to always answer my phone or call you back, even if I don't want to, because I just don't want to be like everyone else. I want to be different, but it's just a time factor. They just don't, it's not in their time. Yeah.
So you mentioned KW Commercial a little bit.
Yes.
So I also wanted to kind of stem on that because you said like when you put a listing up and it's through KW Commercial, then it goes a lot of different places.
It does.
I will say that if you have your KW website that you are utilizing through Command, your commercial listings do not show up on it, no matter if it's even on the MLS. So
Correct.
It
You
does
have to be
not.
a part of KW Commercial. Your property has to be loaded through RealNext. So
and that's another
RealNext is
reason to
the
have you.
Yeah, the RealNext is the syndication. So a lot of times I will co-broker a property with a residential agent so that they do have access to some of those properties. If I feel like they can do the work on their side, then I will pick up and do the heavy lifting to get it on LoopNet, on Crexi. I have pro memberships on both. I pay for LoopNet. Most people are not gonna make that investment when they only sell one commercial property, maybe in their lifetime, okay?
Yeah.
Amy asked a question
Oh,
on.
Yeah, she did. I was gonna get to that here in just a second. So yeah, thank you.
I was just gonna say, like, I watch behind the scenes because we share an office, so I see all of the work that Carrie puts into these commercial deals. And generally what happens is somebody will come to her and they'll say, I want to learn commercial and I want to be a part of this. And about halfway through the deal, they go, just take it. Just take it. I'll just take the referral fee. Never mind. I don't want to do this.
Because they're so used to being able to follow this cadence on a residential property, and it's an easy system for them. And then when I tell them what they need to do to be successful for a commercial property, that's too much work, or it's different work, and it's not what they want to do. It's not what they want to do anymore. Yes, ma'am.
Are there any parallels between commercial compensation and the new compensation that's coming to the world that you could speak to?
No, no and yes. So it depends on what it is. So I have charged everything from 2% to 10% and everything in between that. I have charged a lump fee. I have charged it. To me, I look at what I'm going to need to do and how much risk and liability of my own I'm going to have to put in there, and how complex is the property and transaction going to be. So I would be remiss to stand up here and tell you there's a standard, because there is no standard compensation. We know that there is no norm, but there are many times where I will see a transaction look residential-esque and that it sits at right at 6%. A lot of times for me, if it ends up at 6%, it's because the seller thought that's what it should be, and I didn't argue.
What about a co-brokerage agreement with your other agent before you even get to feasibility? I mean, is that conversation that you have with your fellow?
So I do have the conversation for what that transaction will look like. I have a rule, not everybody on my committee has the same rule, but I'll tell you mine because I am incredibly transparent. If you come and ask me, I'm just going to tell you up front, there's never going to be anything that you have to worry about. If I co-broke a transaction with somebody, we split 50-50, even if we find the buyer. And so if the other person finds the buyer or I find the buyer, even though we're selling the property, I always split 50-50 because I never want to have to choose between which master I will serve. And for me to keep what I would call my integrity, my character, and my own set of ethics and morals that I hold myself to, I would not want to put my interests before somebody else's. So that's the way that I do it. If you refer it out, it depends on what it is. So sometimes I will give back 25%. Sometimes I will give back 35%. It just kind of depends on what that looks like. Sometimes I'll do 20. So it just kind of depends on what it is and what it looks like. But all of us who in KW or who serve like on my committee, we'll tell you right up front what we want to do. I also have a rule that if you bring me a transaction or a client and I help them, but they call me about something else. So say they call me and they want to buy this house on 123 Main Street. I don't keep your client. I send the client back to you with one caveat. I will send them back to you, but the minute that they call me and tell me you didn't answer or didn't take care of them, then they're my client now. So I want you to do a good job with your client and I want to send them back, but I also don't want them to go somewhere else that's not KW. So and I will message you and tell you, hey, they just called me about 123 Main Street, told them to give you a call. You'll have every opportunity to take care of them. And if you don't, then I'm going to make sure they're taken care of. Because again, I'm somehow attached to them, thanks to you already as well. So I want to make sure that people get taken care of. But I lay it out there for you. And if for some reason you don't like it, that's okay. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. There's about 15 of us that will help you. You can go to the next person. Or I will tell you, if you come to me with something and it's not what I really like, I don't necessarily say yes to you either. I will send you to somebody that I know they specialize in that more. So if if you come to me and I give you to somebody else or send you to somebody else, it's not that I don't love you. I love everybody. I just want you to go to the person who will help you the most.
I love that. I think that I'm gonna grab this question. I think you kind of talked about it, but I want to put it in a box with a bow. So-
Sure. So it says, if you want to do a referral, how does that work? So normally I will meet with you because I want to know what you know about the client and what you've already told them. Because I want to make sure I don't have any surprises. And then you can just refer it out and we'll do a standard referral agreement. Or, I mean, I don't always have a referral agreement, but I always make sure you get paid. And Sam.
Yeah, Jim.
Code of ethics
Code of ethics.
clearly state that, don't get outside your area of expertise. And that's where residential agents should look first, If it's outside your area of expertise, you shouldn't be attempting it. And you'd be much better off referring it to one of the commercial agents in the company. And then I would encourage you anytime that you do a transaction with a commercial broker, that you use a cooperating fee agreement.
Yeah.
Because they don't put it out anywhere. You're not gonna see it on SVN or.
So a lot
any
of,
of them.
a lot of people are talking about how with the new NAR settlement and all of this, we're gonna have to get this extra form. I've always had that extra form.
Yeah, everybody.
I've never done business without that extra form. That's why if you talk to a lot of commercial people, we're like, well, it doesn't really change a lot of what we do. But it doesn't really change a lot of what we do with ourselves because we've already been doing it, but it will change what you do. Because if you're a residential agent and you don't come to me with a cooperating broker agreement, I don't have to pay you anything. And I'll repeat that. I don't owe you anything. So protect yourself, especially if you're doing business with somebody outside of KW. They're not going to handhold you through it. You might get a nice person who says, hey, you didn't send me over a cooperating broker agreement. You might want to send that before we get to closing. But if you don't send it with the deal, I don't owe you anything. Now, I don't operate that way, but a lot of them do. And that's why people get so jaded with commercial agents is they think that they're cutthroat cowboys. They don't answer your phone calls, all of that. It all can be true, but it all is because they know their stuff too. And they're not gonna babysit you. And Jim's right. If you don't know what you're doing, don't chase the paycheck, because that's number one. What I normally hear is, oh my goodness, I'm going to get such a good commission. If you say that to me, I will not work with you.
Mhm.
If you count your dollars before you help somebody, we are not compatible. And I mean that with the most love, but if you're already counting your paycheck, we do not.
One other
We do
thing,
not work.
on
Yes.
commercial too, it's not that we have 30 to 45 day transactions in residential. I've been working on 2700 East Battlefield now for 3 years.
Yes.
Same transactions,
Yeah.
same buyers,
Yeah.
in and out of contract,
Yeah.
Money
Zoning.
not,
Mhm.
city not agreeing, whatever it might be. I mean,
Zoning
it
easements.
just doesn't happen. So if I was planning on going on a cruise or something, I might be SOL on that one.
So you have to play the long game in commercial. So if a paycheck is important to you and you have to have a certain cadence of paycheck, commercial is probably not something you should put your toe in, because it will take, my longest transaction was 3 years. It was at exit 29 off of I-44. There's a Love's truck stop going in. That took 3 years.
I've
And
been putting that thing there.
I don't freaking know, but finally they bought it and it closed and I don't care.
Sold in the dirt, that's all that mattered.
I don't really care. If you really want to know, I don't really care. So
I seen that thing and I just think to myself, okay, who thought that one would be a
do you
good
want to
idea?
know how many times I was like, this is never going to close. So why are you wasting my time? And that's the other thing. It's very time consuming. It'll go through phases where like that Loves, and even yours, you don't hear anything for weeks or maybe months. You're checking, you're doing your normal in commercial, I'm not gonna check on them every Friday like I would do any of my other clients. It just goes, but then when it's time, you have to do a ton of work in a very short amount of time. And a lot of people don't have the stamina to even do that, or the mental capacity, or to work with the city, county, utilities, and to get through it. So just know that yes, there's a big reward, but if you space out your commission that you're gonna have over 3 years, was it a big reward? If that was all you had going,
No.
no, so, no.
He'll tell you, he'll tell you in a couple of years.
Correct.
In 3 years, but at the
Right.
same time, it's like, I mean, I just know that's not how it happens. The other thing is, and she's mentioned it, but I'll remind you, do not call commercial agents every Friday like you would your clients.
We will
If
not.
you do, they will not answer you because they don't know any, I mean, they're working on it,
We'll let you know when
but
we know
the city
something.
meets
We'll let
every
you know
4
when we
weeks
know
or 6
something.
weeks on planning and things. They're not gonna call it. And they're gonna call you and say, hey, we sat down with so-and-so from the city and here's what was said. It's just not gonna happen. So
No,
just understand you're not working with the same type of animals. You're just not.
we're animals, that's right. Right, I would say it's sometimes a higher professionalism, but it's not always the way that you consider professionalism in residential. In residential, I want somebody updating me constantly because that's what our clients want. It's very emotional and they want all those high touch points. In business, in commercial, I want to know the least amount of words to get me the most information, and then I want you to leave me alone. So it's just different. And I tell you that not to tell you not to consider it, but to tell you that if you are going to consider it, make sure that you're aligning yourself the right way and that you've looked at KW Commercial, because there's a lot of tools and education and resources out there. Maybe start educating yourself before you try to take on a transaction and think you can educate yourself as you do a transaction. You will always learn in every transaction you do, but you should not start your learning in a transaction. There is a big difference. And again, I'll be honest enough to tell you, not everybody will. And I'll also be honest to tell you you're done. And I'm just gonna give you a referral fee at any part in a transaction that I don't like with you, because it's that important to me. And I want KW to have a big, strong commercial presence in Springfield and all of our surrounding areas. And we won't have that if we don't keep our standards high. So it's my job to help kind of keep our standards as high as I can. So that's all I have.
I love it. Any other questions before? Well, I have one accolade that I want to say, because I'm sure you probably all saw it. So Noah Chavez said, Carrie's a rock star, has been helping me out on a couple deals. Highly recommend her. And that is just something else that is very, very cool about KW is we do have these resources to help you with everything, right? So make sure that you are leaning on our commercial agents, especially Carrie, especially her committee, if you are thinking about potentially doing a commercial deal. They are a totally different beast. And that's why we usually recommend if you are like, hey, I want to do this, we always recommend getting you connected to somebody who is either within KW commercial or who does a lot of KW commercial, or a lot of commercial deals themselves.
And biggest thing, don't do it if you don't have the expertise.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it over and over and over again, and Jim will be grateful that I did. If you don't know what you're doing, don't think that you do and can figure it out. It doesn't work that way. The stakes are way higher and you will get yourself in trouble. Mike Brown did one commercial deal. He has a letter in his desk drawer to this day from an attorney where he got his booty sued. Don't do it. It just isn't worth it. And it's not worth your reputation. So.
No. Well, thank you, Carrie. Awesome. Okay, so now we have any ahas? Just like one or two.
Don't do commercial.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane.
Anything on your lane.
I think a lot of people, like we as agents, I know that like when I first started, it felt like there were the gatekeepers and like, it's weird to have this different because, in residential, it's open book. Everybody wants to help you learn. But in commercial, it's just like, stay the F out. But in a way, it's not because but there's a reason why it's like that. I wish there was more training on it to help people better understand the why, because otherwise there's no understanding as to why.
You can go to the CCIM classes,
So I've been to
which
those,
I
yeah.
took 2 of them and I was just like, I think maybe $1,200 a piece for the
yeah.
classes, had to travel to Chicago for one and Dallas for another to take the classes. It's like taking a doctorate, not master's, that would be easy, but doctorate level classes, they were just overwhelming. And I have degrees, but it was still shocking. And I decided after that, well, I didn't decide after that. I've always done commercial, but I wasn't gonna get my CCIM.
Another great resource that's kind of new to our area is Urban Land Institute, ULI. That's a wonderful resource for that commercial sector. It's what's going on everywhere, but what's going on in our area too.
You know
from
anybody that's
zoning.
involved in that?
I do.
Nancy is. That's why Nancy's on my committee, friends.
Yeah, you're involved in it?
I'm involved in
And
it,
Nancy?
Nancy.
Are you?
Yeah.
If you
Awesome.
want on my email list, send me an email and you'll be on the
It's
list.
an
for-
excellent way to plug in, to figure out what these resources are, what do I know, what don't I know, and how it comes together and meets.
I forgot to say one thing. On July 16th, there is going to be a commercial mixer and it'll have probably most of the agents that are primarily commercial in the Springfield area. It's going to be at Uncle Bentley's at 4:30. I invite you to come if you can. You don't have to be a commercial agent to come. If that's something that you're thinking about doing, you've got to get in rooms with the people who do the things you want to do. So come and learn. I think we have some lenders that are going to be there that are going to talk about SBA. What are the changes? How's that looking? What's the approval process? So for nothing less than just to come and build some education, come, and if you want, I'll be there. So if nothing else, come have a drink.
Yeah, July 16th.
July
is the-
16th at Uncle Bentley.
Uncle Bentley's 4:30.
The GSBOR commercial board, so myself,
That's
Scott
awesome.
Schmoley,
6:30,
Keaton Snow.
4:30. And I know that we do our best to make sure that our ALC members are also hosting their own panels or trainings or masterminds and all of that. So I know that Carrie is also working on some to have here as well.
Yes, yes. So if there's like an area that you really want more information in, text me. Because a lot of times I don't want to sit down here in an empty classroom by myself.
No. What's your
So-
number, Carrie?
417-224-2890. So the worst thing is to spend a lot of time working on a training for you and then you get down here and it's just you. So if there's something you really want to learn about, text me. I'll build the curriculum around it and get the experts here. But I need you here. So I don't want to waste my time.
Yeah. Nancy, what's your email so that if they want to get on that list?
Nancy@agent417.com.
Okay.
Cool.
I wonder.
thanks.
Okay, there you go. I hope everyone can read that. Okay, that is it. So next week we do have the forms update. Thanks, Jim. Mic drop. Forms update webinar next week, and then we are gonna be cruising into Q3, y'all. Do we believe that? All right, thank you, you all. Thank you, everybody, for being here with me, and have a great day.
Yeah, July 1 starts third quarter.
Tell you what, when you get older, years.
All right. So,
Thank you.